Hi YouTube, I am a AAA X-Ray and I thought I'm going to make a video of Axis and Allies because it's my favorite game. Recently more and more people start to make videos and about Axis and Allies, and I thought I also give it a try. In the past I made a few videos and it did not really work out the way I liked. So I quit at that time, but yeah, since recently more and more people are making videos, I thought I'd give it a shot again. So also thanks to people like General Hand Grenade and Detroit, and of course Young Grasshopper, who is already doing videos on Axis and Allies for a long time. They encourage the community to make more videos. So first I'd like to introduce myself. So I'm a guy playing Axis and Allies for a couple of years already, and I started playing with Axis and Allies Revised Edition, and over the time I accumulated a few more editions. My last edition is actually the first edition, that is Axis and Allies, what we call now Classic. And yeah, funny story is that when I was young I see this box in the shop, and I liked it a lot, but yeah, I did want to buy it, but it was at that time too much money for me, so so I didn't. But yeah, this game intrigued me, and later on, years later, I heard people talking about it, so I decided to buy my edition. That time that was the Revised Edition. Another little fact which is nice to share is when I'm already interested in Second World War for a very long time. I remember when I was in high school I was studying the history, reading a lot of books, etc., and also was trying to make my own game. And what I made was, for example, this little miniature. This is supposed to be a Spitfire. I made actually a whole bunch of them to be able to play a game with them. But also this, it took too much time to make yeah, all the different nations. So I think I was stuck somewhere in the process of building this game. But yeah, I still have those nice Spitfires. Actually, they look quite accurate to me. Another piece that I made was this one, and it's supposed to be Dakota transport plane, and it's also a very cute one. So that's a little side story. Now for the coming time, I'd like to make a few videos. I have a lot of different versions of the game, and a format what I was thinking would nice to share with you is to make a playthrough for all the different editions. And I'm not an expert. I'm not the best player out there, and most of the versions you see here I did not actually play with somebody, so they're also yeah, not that experienced, except for the Revised Edition and the Classic Edition, which I did play. I think also I played 42nd Edition a couple of times, but other than that I did not play them, so I thought it's a nice thing to make a playthrough, check what is possible with the game, and I think it's also nice if viewers give feedback, and maybe I can learn from that and improve my skills. So the first game I want to do is the Classic Edition. I thought it's a good idea to start from the beginning. Another thing that I want to share with you is my customizations. One of them, the biggest one you see behind me, That's a board that I made for the revised edition, and I had it. I painted it myself, so it is quite a bit bigger than the original board game, and yeah, we like to, as a group, play on this board, and makes it a lot more fun actually to play it. So another customization that I do is I combine also the different sets, and similar like what the Big E also showed in his video about customizations. And so for example, I use this set, Task Force they call it. It's coming from Axon Ellis Pacific, and what you can do is you can put your ships on this little carton, and then put this marker on the board, and that helps with crowded sea zones. So that's a little example. Another thing is, yeah, I'm really into historical accuracy. I try to take the pieces which are as accurate as possible, and therefore I made this kind of main set for myself, and it's mainly based on the pieces from the 1942 second edition, and with the addition of the 1941 edition. And what you get then is, for example, I have here the Panther tank from Germany from 42 second edition, but then I also have here the Tiger tank, which comes from the 41 edition. And yeah, actually I don't really make my own house rules. I think it's just yeah, fun to have different pieces on the board. You can make your own story around this, and so for me the purchasing cost and attack and defense value, they're all the same. So some people might maybe make special rules for a heavy tank, and maybe the Tiger would be the heavy tank, and then the Panther would be the medium tank. But yeah, I think it's just fun to have different pieces. Same for Germany, for example. I have here the Messerschmitt 109 coming from the 42 edition, and then I have here the Focke-Wulf 190 coming from the 41 edition. And also similar for the bombers. I forgot which plane this is, but this is this one is the regular one, coming with almost all the editions of Axon Allies, and yeah, this one is a Heinkel 111 coming from the 41 edition. Now if you look carefully, and then you will see that, for example, Japan is on the same team as Germany, and in the 41 edition they share the same bombers. That is not only for the bombers but for all the units. So for example, Japan will also have Tiger 1 tanks, and Focke-Wulf 190 and the Heinkel 111. So, but yeah, because I like the historical accuracy, I only use these pieces for Germany. The same I do for the US, and for example for the US he got an extra destroyer from the Sumner class, and what he also gets is another fighter. I have to look up the name, forgot. That's the P-40 Warhawk, and actually this is early war fighter. What you can do with this fighter, for example, is using it for the Flying Tigers in China, because this was the type of plane which was actually used there. Another fighter that I found, also coming from the original Pacific edition, is this Hellcat fighter, which was used for the US Navy. Another customization is my aircraft carrier, and what I did is I bought very small magnets. I think I also see it in a video of Detroit, the garrison, and he got it from somebody, but I thought it was a good idea, so I looked up on the internet, also found myself very small magnets, and I made them into the carriers, and I put a little steel nails into my fighters, and so now the fighters stick very well on the carriers. Okay, so normally I just hold it upside down, will not fall off. Actually, you have to use quite a little bit of force to get it off, and a little bit inconvenient is if you put it down, you want to take off the fighter, you'll pick up the carrier. So you can see they're very strong magnets, even though they are very tiny. They are 1.5 millimeter thick and 1.5 millimeter in diameter. So they're very small but very strong, and you can see them here. So I drill them in little holes, and but it's yeah, I think it works quite well. I'm still in the process of doing all my fighters, so it's not play tested yet. So for my main sets, I buy these little boxes. So I sorted them: infantry, all the other ground units, ships, planes, and roundels. And what I also made for it, what I'm in the process of making, is I'm making those cards, and this gives a little bit of background information about the units. So for example, the units which I showed, the P-40 Warhawk, it entered service in 1939. There were 13,738 pieces produced. The theaters where it was active was Africa and China and Pacific, Southwest Pacific. And in China it was active with Flying Tigers. So a little bit facts. So for all the different scopes that I use, I put those facts down. So no special rules, just a little bit historical information. Okay, this is the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe and like the video, and I hope to see you next time when I'm going to do a playthrough of Axe and Allies Classic Edition. Okay, thank you very much.